His progress shouldn't arrive with a higher utility bill, deleted water supply, or noise pollution. So we have no choice but to address these challenges created by these massive facilities. That is why today I'll be signing the nation's first ever statewide moratorium on hyperscale data centers. The bottom line.
Okay, and I believe this goes on for about a year for the state of New York. Honestly, yeah, Governor Hochul, I honestly do not know what she believes. Wherever the wind blows, anything to get her reelected, you know. But that's her discretion. That's her campaign to run. For me, when it comes to the data centers, I'm actually more conflicted about this approach. I really don't. I don't think you're going to gain anything from a moratorium unless you're also going to be looking for data. But it just seems like people already have their foot in an ideological like foothold when it comes to this. Like most people that are anti-data center, that's what they're anti-data center. They really don't even acknowledge the gains that creating a data center will do in the short term. And they don't even, and most of it is speculation about what may happen in the long term. I've not seen any full study about data centers, which is kind of insane to me, because if there is such a negative impact in all of these areas, you will figure that will be the main thing that will be pointed to at all times. But usually what you will see are people saying that their energy, the energy bills have gone up. Well, energy bills typically always go up. That's just my experience. So I've seen parallels where they're assigning the blame to data centers, but I've not really seen any direct correlation between the data centers and people's specific energy bills. I understand the belief system behind it, because they require so much energy that you will believe that, okay, well, since the demand is so much higher, then that's gonna, and if the supply may not be sufficient, bills will go up, right? That makes total sense. I've yet to see the proof of that, but my whole thing is, even if you do believe that, this is where lawmakers and policy creators are, when they come into play. Do we make a larger investment in energy? Just if it's all about a strain on the power grid, why are we not making a heavy investment in energy like that? I don't want us to get to the point where it's the chip backs, like where you need that when it's already gotten to such a bad place where we used to make a good portion of the chips, and now that's already been made abroad, and now we just become dependent on it. Why don't we produce it ourselves? Why don't we? This is when I would like the Democrats to say, hey, this is the compromise we can make here. Yes, we do need a federal law when it comes to AI and data centers. But with that, I will give my vote if we also do a gigantic, big investment in energy production, renewable energy production. We want more of that being made in America, so we're not as dependent on oil. And hopefully, in the long term, we can reduce people's energy bills, and we can also have enough energy to sustain a lot of these hyperscale data centers as well. Because there is some positivity that comes from a data center being created within your community. It creates a lot of construction jobs. Are those temporary jobs? Yes, they are. But there are jobs that were not there before. And some of these communities have nothing going on. Industry has left. A lot of them have been outsourced to other countries. So yes, that will be something that will be good. And then you will say, okay, well, once they're created, then what else happens from the data center? They pay property taxes. I would prefer something to be on the federal level that has environmental standards, a base level of environmental standards, also mandatory transparency when these deals are being provided, and also environmental that address water use and rate paying. Just have a base level of expectation on a federal level. If some cities and states want to go above and beyond that, they're free to do that. And I would discourage localities and states to provide any tax incentives. I think that while they're making a lot, there's big leverage. They're spending a ton of money, hoping that it'll be a big payout in the future. Yeah, I think maybe on the federal level there can be some, tax incentive standard, or maybe based on size. They can scale it based on that. There's some tax exemption or something like that, or tax credit. Cool, but that to deter from basically cities and states offering any additional tax incentives. In Virginia, I believe they offer like $1.9 billion in tax incentives, but they only pull in $1.6 billion in property taxes. I prefer basically it only be a net positive in property taxes coming into the city coffers and the state coffers, and it just be beneficial towards the communities around them and the cities and states. But right now, while they're betting so much, is where America has the most leverage, and we have typically the right of refusal. And I know people don't like AI because AI is definitely taking jobs out of the workforce. That is true. That can be addressed too with taxation. If too much is being replaced, I think you can do that too. Or you can do a cap. This is the power of law. Like, you can compel companies to do things that you want them to do. Why? Big reasons, because they want to do business in America. This is how they got big, and this is how they got the money that they have and the valuations that they have. But if you are afraid of the concept of, if more data centers are being produced, then that means it's an increased chance that AI will get more intelligent and will take my job too. If they don't make the data centers in America, they can just make them in other countries, and that same scenario still plays out, but you don't get the construction jobs and you don't get the property tax revenue. And my biggest fear is down the line, if it does pay out, and when I say this, if it does come out positive to the point where environmentally everything's kind of a wash, and essentially the people that, or the locations that did take the data centers that kind of went all in, they're just getting a ton of revenue. The companies are still doing really well, and maybe they do produce something good for also, like, better new jobs and other good jobs, and America completely misses out. Now you're going to get these communities that are, some of them are already distressed and need a revenue, begging for data centers and giving away the store to get a data center. That's what I fear, like some dystopian place like that, where essentially the people that I think people feel like they're depriving of their data center to the billionaires and the trillionaires, that they feel like they're depriving them of it. They will win eventually, and you'll still lose. Like, you'll have nothing at all to show for it. But this is the time where you can make the most aggressive deal. And just saying, put my head in the sand, if I don't look at it, it won't be here, is kind of the approach. It's actually pretty lazy, and that's the part I don't like. It's very lazy. I mean, especially on the progressive side. I want to hear ideas. I want to hear something where you can adjust. But there seems to be no willingness to adjust. It's just, I don't want to see it go away. And to me, that's just, it's real late, and it's disheartening. It's actually embarrassing, to be quite honest. But we'll see what happens. I could be 100% wrong. I probably am. We'll see. Bye.